From the Schmoes Know Network studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for the Jedi Alliance with your hosts, Master Kenobi Ken Napzok and Queen Amidala, the young Padawan, Maude Garrett.
That was beautiful. I'm digging that one. Hello there, Schmoeville. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is Jedi Alliance, a celebration of the greatest saga ever told.
That's right. This is a place to celebrate the Star Wars universe, expanded, not expanded, canon, non-canon. It's all here. We've got a little business to talk about up top.
We certainly do. This is something that keeps rearing its head.
It does.
It comes down to the Star Paws trivia questions.
Yeah.
Now, Ken, the first time that we did this, you answered a question incorrectly.
According to the cards, I answered a question incorrectly regarding the Y-Wing pilots and what they said on their run on the attack of the first Death Star, which I said it was rear deflector shields.
Apparently, it was the front.
Front deflector. Then we had some fans say, no, Ken's right. No, it was power to the rear deflectors. And you graciously awarded me that point to give me a 1-point lead in the Star Paws Trivia Challenge, which is ongoing. But this week...
We have a lot of Star Wars fans watching this, and they are hardcore. Fellow Aussie did say, no. Here is the clip of the movie where they say it's the front. You know what? We're probably even getting that wrong. Maybe it's the rear when it was the front or the front when it was the rear. Whatever it was, you got it wrong.
The point is there's an Australian conspiracy to take a point away from me, and it worked.
Mate, we're going to go there?
It worked.
So after much deliberation as well,
Yeah.
because the first time we did the quiz, every single time it's 6 questions each.
Yeah.
So after figuring out, carrying the one, calling back home, it's 11 apiece.
11 apiece is the official. We're not changing it from this point on. 11-11 going into today, where I'm sure some Star Paws trivia will rear its head and cause some problems.
It can happen anytime during the show, 1 apiece. All right. Also, some news as well. We had the Duel of the Fates, and for last week, it was who had the more satisfying death. Was it Jabba the Hutt, which is a death that you and I both particularly enjoyed? Or was it when Emperor Palpatine was thrown as an electrocuted mess going down
into the Death
shaft.
Star power shaft, where, of course, Mark Ellis, our guest last week, campaigned for the Emperor, and the Emperor won.
Certainly did. The end results happened to be, I think it was 63 to 37%.
Yep. So closer, I think, than the X-Wing TIE Fighter debate, but we lost that one, but I think we made some valid points.
We will be having another Duel of the Fates this time around. But to kick things off, we love to have a guest every single week at Jedi Alliance, and this woman has the Force running through her veins.
She absolutely does. She is a very well-respected geek girl with so much knowledge on so many things. I've been on other shows where we've just shared our knowledge on other properties, but we're here to talk about Star Wars. She's also the creator of
Legion of Leia. This actually kicked off on May the 4th, International Star Wars, Galactical Star Wars Day. Let's not leave it just to our Milky Way system. Her name is Jenna Busch, and we would love to her to join us during the show. Woo! Jenna!
Rise from the couch.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi. I put on the earphones and there's applause.
That's right, our
so
vast
exciting.
studio audience.
It's everyone there. Hello.
Hello.
It's the council.
Hello, Council.
We're so happy to have you here.
I'm thrilled to be here.
You love Star Wars. I know this for a fact.
You know this because you've seen the Boba Fett helmet and lightsaber in my trunk.
Which are there just in case.
Just in case.
Any situation may
It's
require.
true.
I do say Boba Fett being an Australian, though. Is that going to cause problems?
No.
Not as much as AT-AT versus AT-AT.
There you go.
Oh,
First off the bat,
right.
is it AT-AT or AT-AT, Jenna?
I've always said AT-AT.
No!
I know. But that doesn't mean I'm right. It's just what I've always said.
I've had another diehard hardcore fan correct me, saying it's definitely AT-AT. That's what George Lucas has been recorded saying.
I think on the playgrounds in the 80s, we just all called it, as a generation, the AT-AT, and it just...
We did.
It just went away. Never went away.
Yeah, it's an AT-AT. I will go down dying for this one, okay? But we do, with every single guest, and we've done it ourselves, we will ask the top 5 Star Wars questions.
Okay.
This is to get an idea about your relationship with the greatest saga ever told. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. When was your first time?
Oh, God. Well, everyone's going to do the math, but I saw the first one not in the theater, in my house, long ago. long ago. But it was before the second movie came out.
Right.
Okay.
So I am that old.
Ken and I are terrible at maths, so we still think that you're
makes me
24.
happy. I am 24. Yes.
Which one was your favorite movie out of all the original 3?
Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Was it always Empire, or did it change as you got older?
When I was little, it was the first one.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, because I was really little. I was really little, and then I went to see Empire Strikes Back in the theater, and to be continued at the end of the movie upset me. Because, when you're that young, I went in footy pajamas with my family, and my dad was like, what do you mean to be continued? What the hell? And I was like, oh my God, it's going to come out half my life from now. So, yeah. So I wasn't happy with that movie.
A long time to figure it out.
Yeah, but then the older I got, the more I knew. The whole Luke and Leia thing was spoiled for me on the playground. Early spoiler. So
before spoiler alerts were like a thing.
No one said that on the monkey bars.
No one.
Yeah.
But you learned it.
I did.
The second question.
What is, and there's a lot to choose from, can you tell us your favorite character and why?
Oh, Leia. Obviously Leia.
No question, huh?
No, no question. When I was little, I had all of the action figures. I wanted to be Leia. And of course, there was only one girl to be on the playground. I often played Lady Han Solo.
Oh, nice.
Well, there were a lot of boys on my block, but there were a couple of girls, so sometimes we had to switch off. But yeah, Leia was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
She kicked ass. And back then, there weren't a lot of women on screen that did.
Yeah.
That's true. I always say in New Hope, she was the de facto leader in our eyes growing up. We didn't understand ranking structures and command structures in the rebellion. It was like, that's the princess. She's the leader. She's doing it for her people.
It's funny that you say that, the princess part of it all. We were so we all grew up on Disney, where the princess was always looking for a man and was always helpless. And she was the princess that, it wasn't about that status at all. It was about saving the universe.
Yeah, actually, when I was a kid, I remember talking to my mom about princesses, and she had gotten me some doll, which I was never really into dolls. And I was like, no, I want to be a princess like Leia. I want to shoot stuff. And she's like, oh, good. This bodes well for your future. That's awesome.
Oh, I had Transformers.
Yeah, me too.
That was really hard to make them procreate with my Barbie doll, but I gave it.
There's a whole section of porn for that.
Yeah, Michael Bay, do not listen to this, because he will try it.
Yes.
The next question, there are a lot of force powers in the universe.
Yeah.
We see a couple in the movies, and then when you play the video games, it goes more and more and more. Out of all the force powers available, what's your favorite? Which one did you wish you possessed?
Force push.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, no, and that's...
Out of my way.
Yes, I feel that is from living in Los Angeles for 11 years, and that I would like to move cars out of my way.
Traffic.
Force push. There was no question. That just...
A lot of people on our Facebook page, which go and find us on Facebook, the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network, a lot of people, force push comes up a lot. It's
so people who don't really have a lot of patience. So I can. Really,
I have none.
Yeah.
I have no patience with anything.
You can finish any argument with a force push. Yeah, but.
I actually have been known to just put my hand up like that for no reason. I just,
People are just, why is this woman just palming us? What's going on?
Anyone who knows me knows exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're like, ow. Really?
I always felt that the best force pushes actually came in Phantom Menace when they're force pushing those battle droids.
Yes.
That was really when it's like, okay,
but it was effortless.
Yeah.
It was like, get out of my way.
Jenna, Star Wars is so quotable. We all use and have our favorite quotes. So that is our question now. What is your favorite Star Wars quote that you use in real life most of the time?
Oh my God, I use them constantly, so it'd be hard to pick a favorite. So I thought about this morning. And my boyfriend is actually also a huge Star Wars fan. In fact, on our first date, he brought me a Star Wars toy that he designed, because he used to work for Gentle Giant, and a Millennium Falcon shirt. So obviously I have to marry this man.
Yes.
But so I told him I loved him, and he said, I know. And I was like, oh my God, you Han Solo'd me. So
perfect.
It's like, I want to hate you, but I love you even more.
I know, right?
Sorry, us girls. We're like, oh.
It's okay.
I know. And I swear,
I'm making a note to do that in my regular life.
Do it.
Totally. How to date a geek. Yes.
It works.
Oh,
it totally works. So that has to be my favorite.
Okay.
With good reason. I understand that one.
And the last one.
Yes.
We need to go to a dark place right now. Yeah. Would you ever turn to the dark side?
Oh, see, okay. So the lightsaber in my trunk is red.
Oh.
But it was not my choice. And I like to think that I have dark powers. We were just talking about this before the show. I play World of Warcraft, and I just rolled a Horde character. But I just don't think I have it in me. No.
I feel that, if you turn to the dark side or if you play Horde in WoW, and you know what, I tried it out as well. It just feels like there are no rules. You've got kind of no morals.
No moral center.
Yeah, it's just...
It makes me feel kind of sticky.
It's great for people that have that them to just unleash
just a little
it.
bit. Yeah. Not just you too. Not just a little bit.
Once. This coming from the Sith Lord here.
Just maybe a choke or a push. Nothing.
Well, in traffic, I may revise that. Because there are moments.
Good.
There are moments.
Good.
Seeing the traffic.
I might have done that.
Give in to your road rage.
Oh, I have road rage.
See, you're tapped. I'll accept that.
Okay. Yeah, the road rage is really bad.
Good answers.
Really bad.
Oh, you know what? That happens. I've been living here for 18 months and I'm already not beeping. I refuse to beep.
Oh.
But I will scream, okay?
Oh, wait, no, I have to say my horn doesn't work in my car now and it's like having laryngitis. It's really bad.
So you need a force push in traffic.
I really, really do.
That's great. Well, Jenna has answered the top 5 most important Star Wars questions. She did a great job.
Thank you.
She is truly a fan from the playgrounds of old.
If you haven't answered those questions, they are all up on our Facebook page. Just search Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network and you can answer them as well. We love hearing everyone's stories. I read them all.
We read your YouTube comments, your all of them, good and bad.
Yes. I'm Geek Bomb, by the way, commenting back to everyone who's probably like, what is this person about?
I will read them all this week too.
Get involved. And of course, on iTunes too, your reviews have been helpful and very positive and very supportive. And we're excited for our continuing growing fan base. So there's a lot of people out there who want to celebrate Star Wars. There's a lot of Star Wars news, which is why we have this segment called Renewed Hope with Queen Amidala, delivering all your weekly Star Wars news.
Thank you, Master Kenobi. Okay, so there's been a lot of news this week, especially on Friday, the 15th of August. So let's get through it, shall we? Rumours of Episode 7 were swirling around faster than an infestation of Minox. You're welcome. We've seen images of a new look for Stormtroopers and Han Solo, unveiled who the villain is, and new casting with family ties.
Boom, there's a lot to cover here, so let's break it down. Let's start off with the Stormtrooper helmets. Take a look at these. They have been streamlined. They've been tweaked. They are not the originals. You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan, and I'm surprised I'm finding myself saying that. When the drawings leaked, that designer, I think Tom Hodges was his name, went on the set and put out, hey, here's what I saw, and he drew it. I thought, yeah, it's got Macquarie overtones. And then I saw this one. To me, it's like they're changing just to change it, and I should be more excited. I'm kind of angry at myself because it kind of looks cool.
I actually really like it. I mean, I do get the I don't want things to change thing. Well, like I said, that's why I think when I was a kid, I really liked the first movie, and I didn't want to know anything beyond what I saw. But I kind of like them.
Okay, we're going to actually judge every single rumor and tidbit and say how real we think it is. So is this kind of spot on? Do you think this is really happening?
Yeah, I think so.
I think by now, yeah. A week ago, I would have said no, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you've seen the Snowtrooper helmet as well?
Yeah.
The visor
I like
for
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what that did? This is the thing. You see one image and you can break it down so much. There's going to be snow. We're going to be back on Hoth.
Oh, yeah.
Like straight away.
We will see an advanced AT at AT.
We will finish this one day, but not today. Speaking of being back on Hoth, we've seen Han Solo's costumes. Now, obviously, these were a mock-up draft from the wardrobe department. We saw him all rugged up in the furs, and it was an aged Han, little grey and dusty. So we've seen that one, and we also saw another outfit that looked like his Forest Dew on the moon of Endor as well. What do you think? Are these real? Are we going to see these costumes on Harrison Ford?
I would think so. I mean, I think certain things that leak are rumory, but I think this sort of stuff, I mean, it makes total sense. So I think that's probably real.
Same thing for me. It makes sense. I think if anyone's going to be fake, it's kind of this one, because anyone could kind of draw that and put it out.
True.
But I kind of agree with you, Jenna. Like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Of course, if there's going to be snow troopers and Han's going to need a snow jacket.
That's true. Well, on one of the pictures, you can see that it's posted up on a wall and someone's pointing to it.
Yeah.
That kind of was like, for me, I'm like, well, that's a little bit more legit now.
Yep.
Because I'm gullible.
It's a very authoritative finger.
But I also kind of think that the only way that this could not be true is if you're right, someone's just photoshopped images together, or there could be a whole ream of Harrison Ford costumes, and these are just examples and they didn't use them. So these got the kind of the edit floor already. So
yeah, and he does have to change his clothes eventually, so...
We'd hope. Get that
I do
stripe
hope.
off his pants, maybe.
Oh, no, I like the stripe.
You like the stripe?
I do.
I like the stripe. Stealth troopers are to appear. Now, the Latino Review entered into the rumour mill after it was the Indie Revolver that released those photos. And basically, the stealth trooper is going to be in black and chrome armour. Now, the armour that they wear is going to render them invisible. A, do you think this rumour is real or not? And B, do you want to see a stealth trooper?
I would like to see a stealth trooper, but I don't know that I don't know about the invisible thing.
Yeah, it comes off to me as very deep, expanded universe stuff, where a novel about, cousin Jed and the stealth troopers, where you're like, what? This isn't canon. It seems real close to that edge.
Yeah, and anytime you do anything that involves invisibility, I mean, not that JJ doesn't really like to do effects, but,
Right.
this it just seems like an odd choice.
Leave it to Harry Potter and the invisibility cloak, I say.
Yes, yeah, they did that well.
They did it well.
They totally did it
Or
well.
the Hobbits.
Apparently it's going to be John Boyega or, I'm not saying his name right, or Gwendolyn Christie who's going to be wearing that one.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, and I think that'll be, I going back to the helmet thing, that's a subtle change where I'm like, really? We're adding extra visors. This one, like, all right, cool. They're all in all black or something different. I could see that working for one of them.
Okay.
Being turned.
The main villains have been announced. They are going to be the Inquisitors, the Sith Inquisitors. This is the Latino Review claiming this particular part, saying that it's going to link the film to Star Wars Rebels, which is launching in October. So it's going to be a fluid, see Rebels, understand the villain, there's the movie. What do you think? Is this real?
I'm excited about The Inquisitor in the Rebels series. I know it ties back to maybe some stuff that came up in the Clone Wars on the planet Mortis. There's a lot of stuff
me out of
tied in
this.
that. There's a lot of stuff there.
There's another Maud name.
Yeah,
Of course.
Oh my God.
So I can see the validity in this, and it sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that. I mean, it does make sense. It totally does. And it's funny with rumors like this because I know, like, Latino Review is often accurate with this sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm on board.
I mean, it's
need
a
a
cool
villain.
character, so they need villains. And I know this isn't just the Inquisitor. This is Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Or Tors.
And Star Wars Rebels, I mean, I know that, we ended Clone Wars, which I'm still not okay with. But Star Wars Rebels, I mean, it's obviously going to be the thing to lead us in, and I think that's going to be canon, so it would make total sense.
Makes sense.
Alrighty. Carrie Fisher's daughter lands a role. Now, obviously, in this particular movie, there's going to be a flashback scene, and it shows Carrie's daughter, Billy, Lords as a young Leia, revealing that the Inquisitors serve Darth Vader. So that means we will also see Vader in the flashback scene. Do you think the flashback scene is myth, or is it true?
I want it to be true. I think that's really cool. They've never done a flashback before. And I don't know if you guys have seen the side-by-side pictures of Billy Lord and her mom, but wow, she looks like
Really?
young Carrie Fisher.
And we've got a picture of them up right now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. So I kind of want to see that.
If you had told me 6 months ago when this all broke, or a year ago now, it's been so long now since the story first broke of episode 7, and there was a flashback, I'd have been like, what, no. But there's something intriguing about it to me, where if they can work it in, and it ties into these Inquisitors, and you got a young Princess Leia, and there's some kind of reveal, and it's not done with like a doodle-doodle-doodle flashback, it's like actually works its way into the story, I'd be excited to see it.
Now, are you excited at the fact that it is Carrie's daughter?
Yeah, I think that's actually really cool.
That's an extra little fun wrinkle.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, Mark Hamill's son was in Phantom Menace.
Oh.
Nathan.
Nathan was? He was? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. See, I like that kind of stuff. Tie it in. It's a big family.
Told me about one today, which we'll get to later. Now, there is a robotic cyborg that's obsessed with Darth Vader. Now, this robotic hand was holding the card revealing the Omaze winner, and apparently that's got a story behind it. It's been thoroughly investigated. The cyborg, obsessed with the legend of Vader, he's tall and thin and owns Vader's burnt helmet. Now, we know that this is when Luke sets up the funeral pyre and, burns him. So obviously he's gone in and used it as a...
Collected it.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that one.
That's a little creepy.
The cyborg has deep red eyes, no chins, human lips, and a black cloak. This rumor was by Indie Revolver and Badass Digest. True or not?
Trusted sources. It makes sense in this. It makes sense in the sense that Abrams wouldn't put that picture out with some meaning.
No.
Yeah, and actually, Devin Faraci, if he's going to post it, he probably has some damn good reason.
He's going to vet it and put it out there for good reason.
Yeah.
I love the fact that there's someone obsessed with Vader.
I know.
You know?
Besides me.
I was just going to say that.
So I'm excited about this one. And let's tick them off really quickly. Badass Digest has claimed that Han and Chewie will be commanding a super Star Destroyer. Yes or no?
Yeah, again, it's Devin. If he wouldn't put it out unless he had something to back it up with.
Kind of cool. I like that. Maybe Oscar Isaac has some Millennium Falcon and he's out and about in the universe doing something. They got to get it back. I like that.
I do too.
We've seen a new version of the X-Wing, but we'll also see TIE fighters, interceptors, and bombers. Yay!
I'm very excited. Actually, last night at the Geekies, my boyfriend wore a Star Wars shirt, and he said, "I don't need a tie. I have a TIE fighter."
Fact.
Yep.
Seriously, why aren't you married? Let's make that happen. Han will be using a lightsaber again, like he did in Empire Strikes Back. And the Jedi News says we'll see a main character, or one of the featured characters, is a Mon Calamari species, like Admiral Akbar.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Maybe it's like his second cousin or his nephew.
Yeah,
something like that.
Following in the footsteps.
If he doesn't say it's a trap, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I have a feeling he's going to, pour a coffee and be like, it's a frap. And then, of course, it goes through his system. So it's like, it's a crap. I could go on, but I won't.
Please do.
That is it for the renewed hope.
Thank you very much for the news.
That was pretty funny. I'm going to go ahead and call Star Paws on you.
No!
Yep. Just for the delicious Akbar puns, I'm going to punish you by I want you to choose a card.
It's a nap. I'm going to enlist the help of Jenna with this one as well.
Okay.
Though.
Oh God, I'm terrible at trivia, but I will try to help.
You're okay. This is it. All right. So you guys can answer as a team, or
I need to be
you can go for yourself. All right. Yeah. Turn off your internet. Turn off Wikipedia. I don't know what you're doing over there. All right. Okay. Question 1. Who did Luke carry in a pack on his back?
Yoda.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Okay. What type of ships dropped concussion charges to flush the Millennium Falcon from its asteroid cave?
Ooh. What kind of ships were they patrolling? I only thought it was like a TIE fighter or a bomber, or maybe an interceptor following in the asteroid field. But a lot of them got...
Yeah.
Oh, did the Star Destroyer come afterwards, though?
Did it?
What type of ship dropped concussion charges?
Oh, gosh.
I don't think that a TIE anything has enough
No, I don't
capability.
think they can, no. It would have to be the Destroyer, I would think.
5.
Is it a
4,
destroyer or a...
3.
Yeah, Star
2.
Destroyer.
Yeah.
No, it's a TIE bomber.
Oh, bugger!
I told you, I'm terrible at trivia.
It has the doubles. Okay.
Oh, bugger.
Who willingly surrendered himself to an Imperial squad on Endor?
It was Han. Yeah, it was Han.
Is that your final answer?
Why was I trying
to do that?
Yeah, why was I trying to make it a trick question? I don't know.
It's incorrect. It was Luke Skywalker.
Was it?
Oh, it was Luke.
Good
Because
Lord.
he has the Force.
I'm gonna get yelled at.
It's all right. You got a lot of pressure. You got.
Hold on. How many have we got right? One.
One out of 3.
I did warn everyone that I'm terrible at trivia. So
What Death Star room had Han escaped from when he griped, "No reward is worth this"?
Oh, the trash compactor.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. 2 on the board with 2.
I had that toy as a kid. Just
Who
cool.
did C-3PO call an overweight glob of grease?
Overweight glob of
Is that? It's either Jabba or it's Chewie.
It has to be Jabba
Wait, hold on.
because Chewie's furry.
But hold on. Can you just read again? I need
Okay.
a picture.
Who did C-3PO, a droid versed in human-cyborg relations, call an overweight glob of grease?
No, he's an overweight glob of grease.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
You or he is?
I think you should just
gonna
get
need
the
an
point
answer.
for that.
It's 5.
For the way you said that.
Do we say
Or-
Jabba or Chewie?
I think Jabba.
Jabba.
How about his friend R2-D2?
Oh,
That's just mean. Maybe we blocked that
They
out.
have a complicated friendship.
They do.
he always insults us
Those
too. I
guys.
thought maybe he'd just spread the love a little bit
I
further.
know.
All right, I love this question. Who landed a role on Cheers after playing Major Dearlin in The Empire Strikes Back?
Who was born after all the movies were actually released?
I'll even, for bonus to help, I will give you one of his lines.
Hold on. What's Cheers?
Oh.
I forgot you were raised in Detroit. Yes, an American sitcom in the 80s set in a bar in Boston. Ted
Yes,
Danson.
why can't I think of his name?
I am very much relying
Princess,
Okay.
the shield doors must be closed.
Oh God. Why can't I think of his name? It's not George Wendt. No. Why can't I cannot think.
on you. I would never get this. I'm going to say
A lot of pressure on you, Jenna.
And you know what? I warned everyone I suck at trivia.
5, 4.
Yeah, I don't even
3,
remember anyone's
2.
name.
John Ratzenberger,
Yes!
Cliff
Oh my
Clavin
God.
on Cheers.
And the thing is, I've seen that scene and went as I got older, I went, oh my god, it's that. But Yeah, and can we also blame the fact that I had 2 hours of sleep last night?
No, we can blame a lot of
Yes, we're totally
things.
blaming that.
Oh, yeah.
But the
Oh,
end
yeah.
result is you only got 2 points.
Wow, that's not great.
No.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. You claimed I get cocky with trivia. I get it.
You are so
did.
smug right now. Honestly,
I'm like a scoundrel. I'm nice, men.
you are like Ken the Hut right now.
All right.
Awesome.
That's Star Paws 1. You can get me later in the show. Now it's time to go to Duel of the Fates, our weekly debate. We take 2 things in the Star Wars universe and pit them together. We'll make our claims, then you go to Facebook, and register your vote and your opinion. And this week we have who is the better leader in battle, Admiral Akbar or General Jan Dodonna?
Now, Dodonna, obviously from A New Hope, when they're taking down the first Death Star, and then when they rebuild the Death Star, it's Admiral Akbar who comes in with the help of Mon Mothma.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that they're a bit of a duo in that respect. I'm going to have to go Admiral Akbar, and there's a few reasons. You're with me on this
Yes,
one?
I am.
Okay, then jump
I
on.
am.
Both of you jump in.
Well, first of all, rank-wise, an admiral is higher than a general.
Just
Yes.
going by rank, okay?
So that alone means that he is a better leader. Sure, he didn't see the trap.
Well, but he did warn right before.
Yep.
So
And that became an iconic line.
It did.
I think that alone, everyone knows who Admiral Akbar is. But he, like, I don't know. I just don't think that he's left his mark.
He's not memorable. I mean, also he doesn't look like an octopus. So
I was going to go with a fish.
a fish,
A goldfish.
Yeah, and I think there's just something very iconic about him. And
It's a fish out of water. I mean, he was a
Literally.
fish out of water in this ridiculous
Mon
circumstance.
Calamari.
He was Mon Calamari.
I'm going to take the counter here and go General Jan Dodonna. The reason I'm going with the counter is if it wasn't for his calming influence during that first attack on the Death Star.
Yeah, that's true.
If he wasn't there, now, yeah, we got a little red 5 in the Force helping him take down the Death Star. But the plan was in place, and during that tense moment, you saw everyone. From the droids, Leia, the rebel leaders looked to General Dodonna. He was like a calm baseball manager, just kind of had his arms crossed. Nothing. He wasn't worried, even down to the end. And I think without his leadership, we wouldn't be having the conversation about Admiral Akbar.
Well, I mean, I also have to say this doesn't seem like a fight to the death kind of thing. 'Cause
No.
they both are pretty cool.
They both have points.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing about Akbar, yeah, it was a trap. Then he helped get them out of that trap with his evasive action.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Which is what a
it's
good
close.
leader does.
But I'm going with Dodonna. You two are going with Akbar. Certainly not wrong on many fronts. It's an equal battle. But you guys go to Facebook, find our Facebook page, the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network, and be sure to answer the question with your facts versus opinions on what you think it is.
Both of them
It's
really
close.
they did it. They both took down a Death Star.
Yeah.
Like there's no
It's
small
true.
feat.
I don't feel that I would be upset with either of them winning.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. And you can also hashtag it on Twitter, hashtag Jedi Alliance. Follow us at Maude Garrett, at Ken Napzok, and let us know what you felt. That is this week's Duel of the Fates.
And you know what? If Admiral Akbar doesn't win, then clearly it's a trap. just
You just want to say that.
so much. I love it. That's one of the ones that I say all the time. Because I'm cool. So let's move on to the next segment. It's called Forced On. And of course, the Star Wars universe is so big that every single week we will focus on one part of it. And this week we are forcing on you Legion of Leia. And no better person to do this, to force feed it down your throat, than the creator and founder, Jenna Busch.
Why, thank you.
So the podium is yours. Tell us all about Legion of Leia.
Okay, so when the Star Wars casting news came out, and the original news, and there was one new female character, I was not happy.
I was not either.
Yeah.
A lot weren't.
Yeah, and it bothered me. I wrote a blog post on my blog, which is called Girl Meets Lightsaber, just saying, which should tell you something. And I was upset mostly because I have a niece and a nephew, and when I was a kid, as we said, I had one character to play. Not a lot of people played as Mon Mothma.
No.
So, but I wanted my niece to see herself in as many characters as my nephew will, and I wanted my nephew to see strong women. And by strong, I don't mean, just kicking ass in leather. I mean, like, well-realized characters, So, and I figured, even though it's space, it probably does have the same kind of 51-49 split. So I wanted to see more. Now, that has since changed. but which is wonderful, by the way.
Do you think it was the outcry of a lot of people saying, wow, this is really, not balanced remotely that caused these changes?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I did have a little inside information that there were already other female characters planned. But then there was the rumor that Gwendolyn Christie's character was gender swapped.
Yes.
Now, whether or not that's true,
I like to think it was.
Yeah, but just the fact that the rumor exists means that we made some sort of impact. So we were talking about this, and when I wrote the blog post, I said what I needed to say, and I wanted to do something positive. I just didn't want to wag my finger. And I was one of the first women to cover geekdom, and I don't know. It's been a thing for me, women in sci-fi, and how important that is. So a friend of mine and I were sitting around talking about the casting, and it was right before May the 4th, and I had posted a picture of myself in the blog as a little girl dressed as Leia. And she said, I have the same picture. I bet every one of our friends does too. And so for May the 4th, we decided to start this thing called Legion of Leia, and we asked everybody to change their profile picture to themselves as Leia, their dog as Leia. Actually, Mark Hamill's son Nathan dressed as Leia. It was a Halloween thing, but with full beard. It was amazing. It's my favorite picture of all time. And we got so much support. Jane Espenson, who, if it's cool, she's written it. Buffy, Battlestar Galactica. Adrienne Curry did it. Ashley Eckstein from Clone Wars. It was so, the outcry for women in sci-fi was just so intense that we decided to keep this going. So we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. I would love it if you guys follow us or like us. It would be amazing. So the whole idea of the site now is to promote women in sci-fi, support women in sci-fi. Another thing that happened was I had written a comic book and I was showing someone because I was like, oh my God, you guys have made a book. And I felt this little tug on my leg, and it was this tiny little girl who said, are you in that book? And I said, yeah. And she's like, can I hug you? I was like, yes. And her mom said she wants to be in comics, but she didn't know that girls did that. Now, this was only a couple years ago, so she's another inspiration for this. I want to show people that there are women in all sides of this, that there are jobs out there. I want to push this as much as I possibly can. So we're doing interviews, we're doing news stories. The goal eventually would be to be able to fund projects for young women. Now, right now, we have no money, but eventually that would be the goal.
Would you consider teaming up with someone like Gina Davis, who was employed by J.J. Abrams, and I think it was after the backlash of the first announcement. He's like, whoa, everyone's supposed to love any Star Wars news, and there's been negative feedback. So got Gina on board to kind of really promote equality and see ways that could be improved. It sounds like that's kind of in a way what you're doing, but in a genre-based scenario.
Yeah, in fact, Gina Davis's Institute for Gender and Media has been an inspiration. Absolutely. And I liked her whole thing about how, first of all, if you look at a crowd scene, it's 20% women.
Yes.
Across the board. And if it's not, you notice it. And it's really interesting. And then the Bechdel test about, can you have two women in a scene and have them not talking about a guy? Imagine that. And what she said about gender swapping, like write your script and then go in and change half the characters, change their gender. And just see what happens, like if the plumber happens to be a woman. I love the way she thinks about this stuff, and I would love at some point to team up with them. I think that would be amazing.
This is the things, though, that you never really noticed until it was said.
Yeah.
And I have found my friend Alicia Malone is a huge advocate of women in film.
Yeah.
But the problem is every time she talks about it, she'll get backlash from people.
Always.
And that is, but you're feminist bull, and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, just shut up about that. No one cares. There isn't an issue. You're making one.
Yep.
But it's these things where you do hear that every crowd is 20% women, and that means 80% aren't. This isn't an equality at all. So what's some of the great response that you've had, but also the backlash that you've had?
Well, we've gotten a ton of great responses. We've gotten support from the community in places that I never expected. And we, like I said, we profile somebody every week. You're going to be profiled.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that on camera.
Oh.
Just discovered.
No, but it's really cool. So we've gotten a lot of people who are really proud. I was signing some stuff at Comic-Con this year, and I had a woman bring her 11-year-old son over to me and say, I wanted him to come and meet you and learn about this because I want him to look up to women too. We had the same thing happen with the Where's Gamora hashtag. So if you guys don't know about that, it's that on backpacks, on clothing, they have the entire Guardians of the Galaxy team except Gamora.
For no reason.
Right. There are 3 Gamora toys if you go to Amazon, and that is not the case with the other characters. This happened with Black Widow as well. And the character of Gamora is amazing. I love her. I love Nebula. I mean, it's really kind of sad. So when I posted that and I said, hey, listen, what's the deal, guys? And this all came from Amy Ratcliffe, who first noticed all of it. And I had guys telling me, and it was always guys, oh, you should be patient. Oh, they'll come out eventually. I'm like, imagine my temerity and wanting my toys at the same time as the boys. And then I got, oh, maybe it was her contract negotiations. And it was really odd that people kept trying to explain it away as though it weren't happening. And that's what happened with Legion of Leia. We got a lot of people saying, oh, no, oh, you have the one and it's good. I actually had a guy give me a 27 tweet rant.
Wow.
About how we had Leia and Leia was amazing and I better not diss Leia. I don't know why he thought I would do that. and he's like, you have someone, you shouldn't complain. Nothing has to be PC, and don't tell me you don't like Slave Leia because I just know you dressed as Slave Leia. By the way, I have not, and I would, because I have no problem with Slave Leia. But yeah, it's a really strange backlash. And then of course there are the rape threats that show up and you're an idiot and why don't you just shut up? And yeah, and really, like, that's part of the reason I wanted to do something positive, because we all get this backlash online and we get it whether or not we're talking about this. You know, it's just the nature of the internet. But I don't know. I think it's important to put positive stuff out there too.
Well, that's what I love most about it, is because you can hashtags and all that stuff. That once you put it out there, it explodes, and it's 4 or 5 generations away from the original issue. Yeah. It becomes a virtual riot on either side, and the issue's lost. So what you've done is something positive, but also not just a positive thought. It sounds like you got a long-term plan to change things. You got to go back to the core. So if you're going to encourage a 10-year-old girl to write her own comic book or story, that's where you're going, and that's going to see long-term effect, and that's what your guys seem to have in mind.
Yeah, and I guess the whole goal is that we're not necessary anymore someday.
Right.
Yeah. I'm putting myself out of business. That's really what it is.
A good business model, but no, absolutely, and that's what I like the most about it. Is it's like, hey, the discussion's been started. It obviously made some kind of impact. Mm-hmm. For JJ to hire Gina meant he listened on some level. Whether or not he changed things at all, you've got 2 more films that they can also make more of an impact. I've heard enough of the Gwendolyn Christie rumor to believe that it was true that they switched it.
Yeah,
and how? Why wouldn't you, to get that woman on board that project?
I love her. Love her.
I mean, for God's sake, she killed the Hound and bested Jaime Lannister. Why would you not want that?
Oh, that was the best fight.
So it makes sense. But that's what Legion of Leia seems to be doing very well. Is bringing a constructive and positive and long-term thinking to this issue that's been exploded onto our pop culture landscape.
Yeah, and one other thing we want to do eventually is have some of the women that we've profiled give advice to young people who have questions about getting into the industry. Absolutely.
So tell us again where you can find it.
You can find us at Legion of Leia pretty much everywhere. So we're Legion of Leia at WordPress.com. That's our website. We are Legion of Leia on Twitter, and seriously, I would love a follow and shares and anything. We're Legion of Leia on Facebook. We're Legion of Leia on Instagram and Tumblr as well.
And Legion of Leia on
stickers on our lapels.
We all have stickers designed by my guy.
I like it.
Jeffrey Henderson. I should say his name, because he's a great artist.
He's very clever. Thank you so much for that one. I am obviously behind it. I have been from the start.
Yes, you have.
I whacked on my little Leia buns straight away. Thought, yes.
I put Leia buns on some of our cats. Yes.
Why else would you have a cat if not to put buns on it?
It's true. I have a Yoda hat, and I have become that woman. Mm-hmm.
You say that with pride.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
well, actually, Jeff is the one that bought the Leia buns for the cats, so yeah.
The man who answers I know to the first time you say I love you, I would expect nothing different.
Yeah.
This is a truly the greatest love story ever told right here. Well, we are going to move on to how we finish the show. Every single week we do say our farewells to the fallen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. So this week,
doesn't matter, stop, Paws! I was waiting. I knew that had to happen.
Okay. I didn't think you were going to let me get away with it, but all right. Ready? All right.
Pick your card.
All right. I'm going to...
Did you want to read the questions out?
I would love to read the questions.
There you go. Just make the answers are on the back, so cover the back of that one up.
Oh, yes. I used to beat people up because of Trivial Pursuit.
I won't cheat.
Hey, yes.
I won't cheat. Okay, so the score right now is 13-11, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not going to help you either.
Make a note, because we're bad at that. We're really bad. Okay.
All right.
Ready.
First question. Who explained away his betrayal by saying, sorry, I couldn't do better, but I've got my own problems?
Well, that would be the administrator of Cloud City, Lando Calrissian.
Yes, that is true. Uh-oh. Okay. What shape is a blaster's stun bolt?
What shape?
Mm-hmm.
Circle.
Yes. Oh, dear. All right.
New Hope. That's a tough one.
That's true. That is.
No, okay.
What was Luke's 3-word response when Han asked how they were doing in Jabba's palace?
Yeah, what was it? Tell me. What was it?
Drawing a blank here. Drawing a blank.
What shape's the blank?
Circle. Same as always?
Yeah.
Oh, God!
Yeah. Okay. What Echo Station number did Luke Skywalker assure with the words, "We're on our way"? Oh, if you get this one, I will be very impressed.
Okay, it's
1, 2, 3, 4,
Echo
5.
3 to Echo 7. Echo 7 was Han. Echo 3 is Luke. Echo 3 is the answer.
Nope. Echo Station 57.
Oh, man.
Oh.
A lot of echoes in there.
I feel a little better now. Okay.
All right.
Wrong.
Now accepted. No rear deflector shields needed there. Down a point.
Wow.
I would never have got that.
No, I wouldn't have either. How many Gamorrean guards escorted Chewbacca to a cell in Jabba's dungeon?
2.
Yes. What hand did the Emperor use to hold his walking stick?
Really?
Yeah.
This is the hardest card.
His right hand.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that's a question. All right, so
So that was 5 from 6,
Yeah.
I
5
believe.
from 6.
So-
I take a 16-13 lead, but I'll tell you what, those are some tough ones there. I'm no
Yeah.
longer as cocky as you want to believe.
If I had gotten those
Mama.
questions, I would have melted into a pool of my own tears.
Yes. I can't answer trivia questions about my own life. So, yeah.
What is your name? Oh, God.
I don't remember.
I knew this.
Well, actually, I did change my name when I was in 8th grade, so there is a sort of nebulous answer
Well,
there.
maybe- I can answer the questions because I have no life of my own. So this is what was my life. So that's why I can answer these questions so easily. Well, next week we'll have a chance to redeem yourself. But
Next week, indeed.
Well played, well used, Star Paws.
Back on track.
As we like to do, we like to close the show each week with a in memory to pay tribute to one of the fallen from these movies that don't get a lot of notice from us, the fans. And this week, we're going to close with a tribute to ATST gunner Lieutenant Watts, whose tragic death during the Battle of Endor, which he was thrown from the top of his Imperial Walker by the mighty Chewbacca, was one of the most memorable deaths in the Star Wars universe.
Chance.
But a death nonetheless. You know him from that, but did you know that Lieutenant Watts was a respected gunner under the service of Major Marquand and a prominent member of the Imperial squadron known as Tempest Force? Yes, Lieutenant Watts was more than fodder for a couple of ragamuffin Ewoks and an unhinged Wookiee. Aside from serving the Empire well during many key military missions and earning himself a reputation as one of the most accurate gunners around, Lieutenant Watts also worked with the famous Kuat Drive Yards, the largest military shipbuilding corporation in the galaxy. He played a key role in developing some of the weaponry used by the Empire's all-terrain scout transport, or the chicken walker, as you like to call it there. But all that didn't seem to matter to those two Ewoks and that walking carpet Chewbacca when they Tarzaned themselves under the top of Watts and Marquand's ATST called the Tempest Scout II. Marquand ordered Watts to investigate who or what had landed on the top of their walker. In a flash, it was over. The Wookiee warrior had grabbed Watts by the neck and flung him 8.6 meters off the ATST to his unceremonious death. But his years of good service will not be forgotten. Thank you, Lieutenant Watts. He was 45 standard years of age.
Rest in peace.
What do you reckon? He broke his back on impact? And then got trodden on?
I'm sure it was.
What?
I'm sure it was a
Squelchy.
bad way to go. Lieutenant Watts, of course, portrayed in the movie by Robert Watts, who was the producer of Return of the Jedi and had production parts with Empire and Star Wars. Major Marquand, portrayed by director Richard Marquand of Return of the Jedi.
A tip to the hat. I think that's quite clever. But still a death. That was a life.
It was a life who served the Empire well. Mighty Chewbacca.
I think it's even more insulting to know that 2 Ewoks had a hand in your death.
know.
Like, that's a sting, isn't it?
Beat him senseless. So that is our show for this week. Jedi Alliance Episode 3. We move on. We've had a great time this week learning a lot about Legion of Leia. Be sure to give them a follow on Twitter and all social media aspects. Do you guys have an Instagram too? I forgot.
We do have Instagram as well, and Tumblr.
Okay.
Well, how?
We are on all the social medias.
As you should be.
Yeah.
You should be.
If you do want to subscribe to this one, jump on YouTube, and it's youtube.com/Schmoes Know Podcast. I always mumble that Schmoes Know.
Schmoes Know Podcast, that's right. On the Schmoes Know Podcast YouTube page, you will find all the podcasts that are out and about from the Schmoes Know Network, like Profiles, Guilty Movie Pleasures, Meet the Movie Press, and many more to come. Big announcements coming from the Schmoes Know main show, which is, of course, live every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST on schmoesknow.com. You can catch Jedi Alliance on iTunes and do us a favor of rating and reviewing.
Yes, our number is all over the place. It was sitting pretty at 4 for quite a while there, and then it's jumped around, and now we're on 42.
We're down to 42, which is the ultimate answer to the ultimate question in life, the universe,
true.
and everything, so we're all right.
But still, let's use the force, combine that force, and rate and review if you haven't already. Say some pretty things, click a 5 on there, and I'll high-five you if I ever see you. How's that? schmoesknow.com for everything else. All the shows are in there as well. This has been Jedi Alliance, and many Bothans died to bring us this information.
For producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes Know Network episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com and find the Jedi Alliance on iTunes. Subscribe, rate, and review. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes Know